It's truly an honor to speak to you, sir. We grew up watching you on TV, reading your tweets, a lot of it. Truly an honor that you're here with us at STAR Global Conference. So I know you're running out of time. I'll just take a few minutes. My first question, sir, education for a sustainable future as the theme suggests. With these tech disruptions, AI coming into fore, ChatGPT being the revolution it is, how do you see the future of education?
I think the future of education lies in creating a mindset which is problem solving for people. Please remember, in the industrial era education, you had to give people a lot of information and knowledge, and that had to be taught one-on-one. Now all that is available. You don't have to stuff your hard disk with all that information, right? Now using search, you can get an answer to any question that you want with a lot of information. And more information is being created every single day than what has been created for the last 1,000 years. So in that situation, how do you educate young people? You got to educate them in a way where they're able to identify problems and solve problems using the data that's publicly available. So a problem-solving mindset, keeping the curiosity of the child. When the child is born, when the child learns, the child is curious. It asks all kinds of questions. And the curiosity gets subdued as we stuff the child's head with a lot of data. Now we got to create a situation where the child keeps on asking questions, discovers for itself, because the joy of discovery is one of the greatest joys you could have as a human being. So the pedagogy has to change, our way of interacting with children have to change, and we have to be open up. And to us, the example is the word Gurukula system. In the Gurukula system, you go to the house of the Guru, and then you get educated. When the Guru teaches you, then you have a question and answer with the Guru, and that question and answering is where you get answers. And I think that's the way forward. And so we have to change, and the new education policy recognizes that and is doing that.
Very well said, sir. On a lighter note, a friend of mine suggested to ask you, since you talked about solution-based learning, probably someday some student can find solution to the Bangalore traffic.
I know, and I hope a lot more people find the solutions to Bangalore traffic. And actually, people can find solutions. For example, if you look at Google, you can find out which are the points where there are traffic jams, because the red line is there. You can find out at what point of time the traffic jams arise and why do they arise, what is the flow of traffic at a particular point of time, and then create software where you simulate a small changes, and the simulation leads to different traffic flows. Now, how do you think of this? You think of this because you got this data. You think of it because you can imagine how things have to be. You can think of this because you are able to understand that these problems can be solved. Now that is the kind of problem-solving attitude that's required. But for that, the regulators and others have to really do that. In fact, we went to the police and set up a NOC, Network Operating Center, where all this can be tracked, and they've done some many good work. We had a recent commissioner called Dr. Salim, who's the traffic PhD, and he's able to improve traffic by 15-20% by doing small changes. So it just shows that most of the problems that we have can be solved, and the changes don't have to be huge. They can be small changes up to a particular point.
Very well said, sir. Sir, I'll just take 1 minute and ask you one last question, sir. Just a few words on the STAR Global Conference, and how important do you think it is for educational ecosystem to have these discourses and exchange of ideas?
No, I think it's very important to have this kind of conclaves, because you get educationals to come together to discuss on topics of mutual interest, to understand what is happening around the world, to understand best practices, to share, and to recognize the people who have done some extraordinary work. Because people do need recognition, and we have to make heroes out of people who have done extraordinary work, because they become role models. And I think it's important to have good role models, because society goes forward on role models. And for younger people, they need to have great role models. And the role models have to be people of extraordinary achievement, who have done something out of the ordinary. And they have to be showcased to people, and that's what we do. For example, Infosys, we started the Infosys Science Foundation to give an award and recognize great scientists, because we said we have to see a society where scientists, teachers, researchers are respected and followed. Because making money, having political power can be done, but society does not progress only by that. Society progresses by new research, new ideation, new creation. And the people who do that are the scientists, the teachers, the researchers, and they have to be the heroes of society. So we said you must recognize them, put them before the public, and so young people take to research, young people take and understand that the work is very rewarding in the discovery and what they can do, and they're recognized by society. So I think STAR is doing that, and I think that's fantastic. I had a great time. It's a very humbling experience to be before so many great teachers, to listen to them, to share things with them. And I was very honored to have been given the award, but it's much more humbling to be given the award, because I knew that the people sitting down had done greater things in this field than I'll ever do.
Sir, trust me, the honors was ours to have you here. It was great having you here, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.